boot sector virus. A boot sector virus is a type of malware that infects the master boot record of a hard drive. The master boot record, also known as the MBR, is the section of the disk that contains instructions on how to load an operating system. When you turn on your computer, it reads these instructions and starts the operating system. However, if a boot sector virus has infected the MBR, your computer will not function as it should when it tries to start up. Instead, it could crash, display error messages, or exhibit other unexpected behavior. One of the most notorious examples of a boot sector virus is the stoned virus. This virus became widespread in the 1980s and 1990s. The stoned virus would install itself in the boot sector of a floppy disk and then wait for an unsuspecting user to leave the disk in the drive when they shut down the computer. The next time the computer is started, the virus would load itself into its memory before the operating system gets a chance to take control. Macro virus. A macro virus can be likened to a wolf skulking around in sheep's clothing. It cunningly disguises itself, hiding within the macros of documents or spreadsheet programs, such as Microsoft Word or Excel. These macros are essentially sequences of commands that are used to automate tasks within these programs. When you open an infected file, the macro virus springs into action, executing its malicious code. A macro virus can cause a variety of problems. It can alter documents, create new files, or even erase data. Furthermore, it can spread rapidly. Once a single file is infected, the virus can easily propagate itself to other documents on your computer. It can also spread to other computers through shared files or email attachments. Multipartite virus. A multipartite virus is an insidious form of malware that operates much like a double agent in a spy thriller. Unlike other viruses that choose to infect either the boot sector of a hard drive or executable files, a multipartite virus does both. This dual attack makes it particularly dangerous and hard to remove. The virus first infects the boot sector, ensuring that it is activated each time the system starts up. This guarantees its persistence, even if the infected files are cleaned or removed. Concurrently, it infects executable files, spreading its infection further each time an infected file is opened. This dual strategy allows the virus to spread rapidly into a wider range of locations within the computer, making it more damaging. Polymorphic virus. This virus is the digital equivalent of an elusive shapeshifter. As the name suggests, these viruses can change or morph their code each time they replicate. This constant change in their digital DNA makes it incredibly difficult for antivirus software to detect and eliminate them. The primary danger of polymorphic viruses lies in their stealth. Their chameleon-like ability allows them to slip past defenses and infect systems undetected. Once inside, they can replicate and spread, causing extensive damage before they're even noticed. One example of a polymorphic virus is the Stormworm. This malicious software, unleashed in 2007, utilized polymorphic techniques to infect countless computers worldwide, demonstrating the potent threat posed by these viruses. Direct action virus. If you ever played the blockbuster game Hitman, then you'd have an idea of how a direct action virus operates. Its mission is straightforward. Once the file containing the virus is executed, it goes straight for its target. It does not embed itself into the memory of your computer but simply executes its intended function and then stops. The target of a direct action virus is typically your files or folders. It may delete, overwrite, or corrupt them, causing varying degrees of damage. A prime example of a direct action virus is the Win64 virus. This virus specifically targets Windows operating system files, rendering the system unstable or unusable. Computer worms. Computer worms, unlike viruses, operate independently and do not require a host program to replicate. Picture them as self-sufficient parasites that multiply and spread across networks on their own. Their primary goal is often to consume system resources, significantly slowing down or even crashing your system due to the sheer volume of copies they generate. If you ever experienced hundreds or thousands of copies of a file on your computer, your system may have been infected by computer worms. Launched in 2004, MyDoom, a typical computer worm, spread through email and peer-to-peer networks, quickly infecting computers worldwide. The damage it caused was staggering, with estimated costs reaching a whopping $38 billion. Adwares. An adware can be likened to an overly persistent salesperson who just won't stop trying to sell you something. It's a type of software that bombards you with unsolicited advertisements, often in the form of pop-ups, banners, or redirects to promotional websites. While not as malicious as some other forms of malware, an adware can be a significant nuisance. It can slow down your PC or browser, disrupt your activities, and in some cases, even track your internet habits for marketing purposes. Zango, an example of an adware, was a program that generated unwanted pop-up ads and was notoriously difficult to remove. Conficker, CryptoLocker, and FileInfector. These three viruses are the supervillains of the cyber world, each with its own nefarious agenda. Conficker, also known as a botnet virus, converts infected computers into bots that can be remotely controlled. Think of it as a puppet master, manipulating an army of enslaved computers to carry out malicious activities. CryptoLocker operates like a cyber kidnapper. It encrypts your files and holds them hostage, demanding a ransom for their safe return. It's a form of ransomware that can cause significant disruption and loss. FileInfector viruses, on the other hand, infect executable files on your system. Each time you run an infected file, the virus spreads, much like a disease outbreak. Spacefiller virus. We all hate unwanted guests in our homes. A spacefiller virus operates much like an unwanted guest who sneaks into your home and settles in the unused corners. Instead of overwriting or attaching itself to a file, this virus cleverly slips into the empty spaces within files, often going undetected by antivirus software. This stealthy insertion allows the virus to spread without damaging or altering the host file significantly, making it even harder to spot. The damage it can cause varies, ranging from slowing down your system to corrupting data. The RegSwap virus is a known example of a spacefiller virus. It highlights the need for comprehensive antivirus software that can detect and eliminate these stealthy intruders. Spyware. Spyware is akin to a private investigator who's been hired by a malevolent third party. It operates covertly on your device, gathering information about your internet activities, personal details, and even keystrokes, all without your knowledge or consent. This collected data is then sent back to the originator, who may use it for malicious purposes such as identity theft, targeted advertising, or even blackmail. One such example is Cool Web Search. This program not only redirects your web browser but also has the capability to collect and transmit personal information, embodying the invasive nature of spyware. SQL Slammer, Trojans, and I Love You. SQL Slammer is a worm that became notorious in 2003 for causing widespread internet slowdowns. It exploited a vulnerability in Microsoft SQL Server and Desktop Engine database products, propagating at an alarming rate and dramatically affecting global web traffic. Trojans, named after the mythical Trojan horse, are malicious programs that disguise themselves as harmless files. Once downloaded and executed, they unleash their harmful payload, which can range from data theft to system damage. I Love You, on the other hand, is a worm that spread via email with a subject line that fooled users into thinking it was a love letter. Once opened, it deleted files and forwarded itself to all contacts in the recipient's address book. Malware, NIMDA, and ransomware. Malware, NIMDA, and ransomware represent different facets of the cybersecurity threat landscape. Malware is a broad term for any software designed to harm or exploit any computing device or network. It encompasses a range of threats, including viruses, worms, trojans, and ransomware. NIMDA, a type of worm, spreads through multiple methods, such as email, open network shares, and unpatched web servers. Once inside a system, it can disrupt normal activities and spread to other connected systems, causing widespread damage. Ransomware, on the other hand, is a type of malware that encrypts your files, effectively holding your computer hostage. The attacker then demands a ransom, often in cryptocurrency, to unlock your files. Rootkit virus. Similar to ransomware, a rootkit is akin to a crafty burglar who breaks into your house and then changes the locks, effectively taking control. It is a type of software that stealthily gains administrator-level access to a computer or network, often hiding its presence or activities from users and system administrators. Once installed, rootkits can modify system configurations, monitor user activity, change system files, or hide other malicious activities, making them a significant security threat. One popular example is Sony's BMG copy protection rootkit scandal. In 2005, it was revealed that Sony BMG was using rootkits on their music CDs to control copying, sparking widespread controversy and highlighting the potential misuse of rootkits. Resident virus. A resident virus operates much like a squatter, taking up residence in your system's memory. Unlike non-resident viruses that need to infect a host file to operate, resident viruses can operate independently, making them more insidious and harder to remove. Once lodged in the system memory, a resident virus can interfere with normal system operation, corrupt files, or even take control of the system. It can also infect files when they are opened or run by the system. The Randex virus is a well-known example of a resident virus. It spreads via network connections and can enable attackers to control infected systems remotely. Web scripting virus. Web scripting viruses are a type of malware that exploits the code of web browsers. Much like a wolf in sheep's clothing, they hide within the scripts that make websites interactive and unleash their malicious payload when you visit a compromised website. Once activated, these viruses can cause a variety of problems, from annoying pop-up ads to more serious issues like data theft or system damage. JSSCR-inject.b is a well-known example of a web scripting virus. It uses JavaScript to infect computers, showcasing the potential harm these types of viruses can cause. Slayer. If you think your Mac operating system is safe from viruses, think again. Slayer is a type of Trojan horse that specifically targets macOS systems. Much like a wolf in sheep's clothing, it deceives users into thinking it's something benign, typically masquerading as an Adobe Flash Player update. Once downloaded and executed, it can carry out a range of malicious activities, from stealing sensitive information to downloading additional malware onto the infected system. It's a reminder that even macOS systems, often perceived as more secure, are not immune to malware threats.